John Travers Cornwell, who was commonly known as Jack, was born on January 8, 1900, in Leighton, Essex, and grew up in a modest working-class household, alongside his sister and 3 brothers, as well as 2 half-siblings from his father's previous marriage. In August of 1914, following the outbreak of the First World War, his father, Eli Cornwell, joined the British Army, alongside his older brother Arthur, who went on to serve on the Western Front. Like countless other young men of his generation, Jack was also eager to enlist, but he was initially too young to do so. Around this same time, he left school at the age of 14 and began working as a delivery boy, helping contribute to the family income. In October of 1915, although lacking his father's permission, he enlisted in the Royal Navy at the age of 15, having secured references from both his former headmaster and employer. His initial training took place at HMS Vivid, Keesham Naval Barracks in Plymouth, where he also received further training as a sight setter, attaining the rank of Boy Seaman First Class. On Easter Monday 1916, he was transferred to Rosyth, Scotland, and assigned to the British light cruiser HMS Chester. On May 31st, 1916, the vessel was deployed as part of a scouting force ahead of the 3rd Battle Cruiser Squadron during the Battle of Jutland. In misty conditions, the ship moved to investigate distant gunfire, and at approximately 17:30 hours, encountered 4 German light cruisers from the 2nd Scouting Group, which immediately opened fire at close range. During the brief yet significant engagement, HMS Chester was struck 17 times. The forward gun position, where Jack was stationed, took 4 direct hits in rapid succession, killing or wounding most of the crew. Although badly wounded by shell splinters to his chest and legs, Jack steadfastly remained at his post, in an exposed position, awaiting further orders. Despite sustaining significant damage, the vessel managed to withdraw from the action, with only one of its main battery guns still operational, avoiding sinking thanks in part to its partial hull armour. When medics were able to reach Jack, they found him still at his post, barely conscious, peering through the gun sights. He was next evacuated to Grimsby General Hospital, where his condition severely worsened, and he succumbed to his wounds on June 2nd, 1916, passing away 6 months shy of his 17th birthday. On September 15th, 1916, it was announced in the London Gazette that he was to be awarded the Victoria Cross posthumously. The recommendation had come from Admiral Sir David Beatty, who had described Cornwell's conduct to the Admiralty following the Battle of Jutland. Although the Admiralty was initially reluctant to put forward the nomination, growing public attention and intervention of senior officers eventually led to its approval, with King George V formally endorsing the award. A portion of Admiral Sir David Beatty's citation reads as follows: "The instance of devotion to duty by Boy First Class John Travers Cornwell, who was mortally wounded early in the action, but nevertheless remained standing alone at the most exposed post, quietly awaiting his orders to the end of the action. He was under 16.5 years old. I regret that he has since died, but I recommend his case for special recognition in justice to his memory, and as acknowledgement to the high example set by him." Prior to receiving this award, he was honoured in a solemn public procession through the streets of East Ham on June 6, 1916. Draped in the Union Jack, the young sailor's coffin was accompanied by local bands, military detachments, and thousands of mourners who lined the streets to pay their respects. Jack was initially buried in a common grave in Manor Park Cemetery, before his body was exhumed and reburied in the same cemetery with full military honours on July 29, 1916. His father Eli, who had died on the 25th of October, while serving with the Royal Defence Corps, was buried alongside him. The epitaph on his grave reads, "It is not wealth or ancestry, but honourable conduct and noble disposition that make men great." To this day, he remains one of the youngest recipients of the Victoria Cross.